Hi, hello lovely people, and welcome back to another episode of K-pop and tea, a segment where I yap about things that are going on in the K-pop community while drinking tea. Now, obviously, I don't have tea available with me right now, but I did drink tea earlier, but you should get yours ready while watching this video. Anyways, I hope you guys had an amazing and prosperous new year. And even if you didn't, the fact that you made it into this year says a lot. Girl groups, whether we love them or hate them, we have to admit that they have significantly impacted the way we listen to music today. But the girl group that I want to talk about today has taken the world by storm, whether it is through the fact that they are a multicultural girl group or the fact that they have not one but two controversial songs, or if you know them because of their dream reality show, Katseye. The reason why I am making today's video is because during the Beautiful Chaos tour that Katseye had, they performed an unreleased song that caused quite a stir on the internet, and it went a little something like this. Haven't you heard? I'm the internet girl. I'm getting out of here. Eat zucchini, eat zucchini, eat zucchini, eat zucchini. Do you read me? Like the emoji? Oh, won't you? Oh, won't you? Oh, won't you? The lyrics alone were questionable enough that people were nicknaming it Gnarly 2.0 because it kind of gives off a similar vibe to Gnarly. But just like Gnarly, there wasn't really any concept of the song, and we were hoping that hopefully by the time the song gets fully released, we'll be able to get some context. But hearing the full release song just made people even more confused. First time that Internet Girl was released, it got a lot of backlash from fans, so much so to the point that people were trying to convince us that it was fan-made, which I actually believed for a while. I genuinely thought that this was like a fan edit or someone's interpretation of how Internet Girl would have went. But when I clicked the sound on TikTok and I saw that Katseye's official logo was there, much to everybody's demise, they really did release it. And I have a feeling that Internet Girl will slowly grow into one of their most hated songs this year. But where did Katseye go wrong? How did one of the biggest girl groups that just debuted 2 years ago already be facing so much backlash? And how is it that the group is already so big but they're known for everything else but their music? Well, that's what we'd like to answer today. First things first, I would like to take you back to Katseye's early days of Dream Academy. Part 1. Dream Academy. Now, did I binge the entirety of Dream Academy for this video? Yes, I did. For those of you who don't know, Dream Academy is a documentary that's available on Netflix that follows how the girl group Katseye was formed. We follow HYBE and Geffen, two of the biggest music corporations, with HYBE being the founding father of K-pop powerhouse BTS, TXT, and hyphen New Jeans, just to name a few. And Geffen, which is more Western pop artists such as Camila Cabello, Cher, and Jason Derulo, just to name a few. The aim of the Dream Academy was to find girls all over the world and have them train for 1 year or two, I think it was 2 years, use that training to compete in a survival show where they will choose their final 6 to form a global girl group. Now, I do want to mention, even though Katseye themselves are not necessarily a K-pop group, they do have a fan base in which the majority are K-pop fans, myself included, and they were raised in a K-pop environment, so I will be making K-pop comparisons and seeing them through the K-pop lens. I feel like Dream Academy was one of the leading factors that led Katseye into their fame. The whole voting process was online, so people literally were voting and giving their opinions on who they wanted in the group, who they didn't want in the group. We also got to see in the documentary a different perspective of the girls who trained, what they sacrificed to be in the program. I'm not gonna lie to you, a couple of the eliminations did have me crying. Adela's elimination had me bawling. I guess it was just the fact that seeing Adela go from like rock bottom to like up top here, to the point where she was giving other girls like instructions and helping them become better, all for her to become eliminated. It stung. When the girls started bawling at her elimination, I cried too. Naisha's elimination, I feel like, was gonna happen sooner or later. I just had a feeling in me. I knew that they did not want her in the group at all. Another elimination that made me sad was Lexi. I mean, Lexi didn't get eliminated. She quit because she saw how things were getting messy when Dream Academy went public. So just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, during the second mission of the online voting, Dream Academy decided to ask each and every one of the girls which 5 other members would they want to debut with. And they showed that ranking system from the girl who got the most votes to the girl who got the least votes. But I know some girls had like 0 votes, and that just made the elimination so much more messy. And for some of the girls, you could see like the light slowly draining out of their eyes as the competition keeps going on. So props to Lexi for quitting and putting herself first when needed. I think that is a good representation that most of us need. It's okay when something doesn't align with your beliefs or how you view things anymore. As much as I hated how messy the second elimination was, it honestly worked. The shock value and ratings got really high. I think they were like, that is their most watched elimination out of them all. So props to Dream Academy. At the end of the day, yes, it is a competition, but it is also a reality TV show. So they need to sprinkle in some drama where they can find it. Even though all these girls went through training, the final 6 were chosen. Hybe and Geffen didn't really know what to do with a group this diverse. There was a little bit of foreshadowing to how the group would play out when in Dream Academy they had to perform some original songs. And I remember one of the songs was like Dirty Water or something like that. And one of the girls, I think it was Samara, she was like calling one of her relatives on the phone. And I don't even understand what Dirty Water is about or why we're performing it, but I'm kind of doing it, which kind of leads me to my point that at the end of the day, dissing Katseye songs isn't a diss to Katseye, it's a diss to the corporations that run them. Katseye are performers at the end of the day. They just perform the songs that are given to them. I would love to see them have creative control over those songs, but I was still experimenting with Katseye and what they want to do, which leads me to my next point. Part 2, having a sound and identity. Now, I've said it before and I will say it again. Katseye is known for almost everything else but their music. Whether you knew them because of Dream Academy, whether you know them because they're chronically online on TikTok and you find their TikToks funny, or whether you know them because of the Gap commercial, which I honestly have to admit was genius marketing and perfect timing in the time that it was released. A few people actually know Katseye songs. You know what Cardi B said? Name 5 BS songs, gun pointed to your head. Well, more like name 5 Katseye songs, gun pointed to your head. Minus Gnarly. Katseye, unlike any other group, doesn't really have a distinct sound at all. You know how you listen to a K-pop song and you're like, oh, it sounds like this group, and then later on you check and it is said group. Stray Kids has that distinct sound. When you hear their songs out in public, even if you don't really know their song, like you're like, that sounds like a song that Stray Kids would make, and then you check later and you're like, oh, that is a Stray Kids song. But when a Katseye song comes out, I really have a hard time identifying it. For a while, I didn't even know that Mean Girls was a Katseye song until later on. The reason why it's hard for them to have a sound identity is because they are changing genres way too quickly. We had Touch, then it was Gabriella, then it was Gnarly. And they were all coming out so close to each other that we didn't have much time to process the previous era that they just uploaded. And I'm not saying that Katseye is not allowed to like change genres and experiment. By all means, they should. But I feel like they should do it in an intentional way and in a way that it transcends nicely. With BTS, if you compare their B era, like the era where it's more soft, more pop, and a lot more vibrant with their songs, compared to School Love Affair, where they were a little bit more edgy and dark. And same group, but different genres. I feel like Katseye should do that over time so that we can get used to a certain look and a certain sound before they switch up. Gnarly was definitely one of the songs that skyrocketed Katseye to their fame and is currently one of Katseye's most popular songs. When it first got released, a lot of people made fun of it and it got a lot of backlash on TikTok. But ironically, it was because of that backlash that it ended up being popular and people actually ended up liking it. In all honesty, I still don't get Gnarly. I don't think I ever will. But a lot of people are wondering why songs like Internet Girl is coming out, and that's because Hype and Geffen saw how popular and unironically people loved Gnarly that they decided to do the same thing with Internet Girl. And I feel like that's the thing that people don't understand. When you reward mediocre stuff, then we keep getting mediocre stuff. It's not like Hype and Geffen are gonna be like, oh, we need to get better. No, if it works and it gets the money, that's what they're gonna keep on doing. Hype intentionally put out Gnarly knowing it was bad. Katseye themselves knew that Gnarly was bad, but they were experimenting to see how well it would do. And the fact that it did as well as it did, I'm not surprised that Internet Girl came out the way it did. At the end of the day, Hype and Geffen, they're both corporations, which means that their aim is to make as much profit as possible with using the least amount of resources as possible. And I'm not sure, but I did hear somewhere that they use a little bit of AI in some of the songs, just desensitizing us to the slop so that we can actually think it's good music. Step 3. Who are their audience? Katseye is a global girl group, but they do profit from K-pop fans. And considering the fact that they were raised in a K-pop environment, it is no surprise. But their aesthetic speaks otherwise. There's no secret that Katseye appeals to the younger demographic, especially with the fact that some of their members just turned 18 last year. Not justify the over-sexualization of the group. Something that has bothered me a little bit since Gnarly came out, Gnarly uses a heavy amount of strong language in the original version of the song. Not to mention that they performed that very same song at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. Now, even though they did not perform the original version, but they performed the clean version instead, they still kept the choreography the same, and that slightly made me uncomfortable. Again, it is the award show for kids, so I thought they would switch up the choreography. That slightly made me uncomfortable. But I am no modesty police. I'm not saying that they should be nuns, dressed covered head to toe while performing. But again, like I said, some of the members just turned 18 last year. And just because you turn 18 doesn't mean that you're ready for the mature concept yet. It's not like you just turned 18 and life all of a sudden gives you a handshake and a box full of necessities to tackle on the adult world. I feel like you're still a teenager in that sense. You can still be exploited, you can still be manipulated. A lot of people are like, oh, most teenagers dress that way, which is again okay, but again, I feel comfortable enough to do it and it shouldn't be pushed onto us way too hard. It is coming off a little bit too much. Still be mature without being overly mature. I think most of us have been around the internet long enough to know how far over-sexualizing yourself can take you. Once that is out of the factor, what lies next for you? Overall, I feel like Katseye are way too talented for the way that Hype are treating them. They literally have the potential to be one of the greatest global girl groups if they were simply allowed to have more creative control over the music choices and the stuff that they wanted, because we really want to hear more about Katseye and their story, especially if you've been following them from Dream Academy and you've been hearing these girl stories and you know what they want to do with this group. And the fact that Hybe is just taking that away and just simply using them as money-making gimmicks so that they can just have all eyes on them and they can have all these brand deals is genuinely sad. And you know that it's bad when the group themselves don't even like the music that they make.
Are you serious? But I would love to listen to this. Let's listen to that song.
Very first day it dropped, I'm not even gonna lie, I was texting the group chat. Like, guys, is it over? Are we over?
You were
Is this
not that
the
over.
end? Like, freaking.
All in all, Hybe and Geffen need to start taking Katseye seriously as a girl group and stop using them as money-making marketing gimmicks, because I've known Katseye more from their brand deals than I do from their actual music. And it is just so sad because, again, if you watch Dream Academy, you know how hard these girls worked, the things they went through physically, mentally, and emotionally just to be in this group, and all that training just for you to say gang gang and eat zucchini is absolutely diabolical. But anyways, that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and don't forget to subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about Katseye, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.